And a very good evening all to you here from the XRL Racing League. We are here for the GP2 division, brought to you tonight by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. I'm Peter Markov, and joining me in the box, our F1 division driver, we have Lee Sutherland. How you doing, friend?
I'm fine, Pete. How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. And we are here on the outskirts of Mokpo, South Korea, for a bit of a white elephant circuit in many ways. Herman Toka designed this to be a compromise setup where you've got to decide, do you go for the ultra-low downforce of Sector 1 or higher downforce and reduced drag during turns Sectors 2 and 3. Let's go onto the track to find out who we can follow on race circuit at the moment. Try and find ourselves a lap. Good evening to all you people out there. Weswick Gaming checked in already. Hi to you, saying ready to watch. We do apologise for the slight delay here on the stream. For some reason, Twitch did not remember the account details. Anyway, at the moment, Nikita020, been a while since I've seen her on track. Oh, makes a bit of a mistake at turn 3 there. Gets a bit of a double step bite at the cherry and towards the apex, and that will have slowed her down. Back in Ferrari for the first time in a while. Yellow flags out in Sector 1, strangely. Not sure why.
I can't see on my screen.
Well, in the meantime, going through right on board with the Nikita second, a very wide line on the prime tyres here. Now, we do have the two steps in compound between the prime and the options here, where we've got the likes of the medium compound on the prime and the red wall super soft on the options. As a driver who was here last night 100% distance late, what was the difference between the tyres and was it crucial to get those right?
I think the time difference is at least a second. But yeah, you've got to be in the right compounds at the right time, especially in racing, overtaking.
In qualifying, Shrim, is it very difficult to get these medium tyres up to temperature? Because Korea traditionally is low grip and very rarely used outside of F1.
Yeah, I never used the prime tyres in qualifying. When I was using option tyres last night, the tyres didn't have a grip in the first sector, so it took at least a lap and a half for the tyres to get up to temperature. Nikita
goes P2 on a 1:39.1 on the prime tyres. Not too bad actually. Good evening to Sharky RM10 and Writers Tiger, who also checked in on the stream. Good to see you guys. 11:69 a 1:38.4 on the prime tyres. That's pretty impressive. Considering that's the prime run, we didn't see many people achieve that in the race last night, so that's interesting to see already.
But Fozzy 37, he's currently provisional pole on the 1:37.7 on the option tyres.
That's to be fair, that's only 7/10 of a second difference. So good performance there, definitely from Living Dead 69. As XRL Bernie goes to Sector 3, gets too much of the curve at turn 15 there. Very nearly thrown off into the wall. Time doesn't look that impressive, though once again he is on the harder prime tyres there. I suppose it's a good idea to get your eye on a slower lap, just so you know when the limits of the grip is. But I can't see anyone on the primes being too near the front. Going over the line now, a 1:39.5 from XRL Bernie. Good enough for P4 so far. STFC down at a 1:40.2 for P5. But Tom 625 on the option tyres, just about to cross the line here, looking pretty strong at 1:37.2 to take provisional pole. Well, that's very impressive from the Sauber driver. And we've got Fozzy 37 now, who's going to have to find half a second of time in order to be able to dethrone him. That's quite a lot to find.
Yeah. We're still waiting on XRL Felix to rejoin the lobby. He disconnected after 1 minute qualifying.
Has an invite been sent to him?
Yeah, I sent a couple of invites.
Okay, well, we'll wait to see if he joins.
And still flags out.
Yeah, now the flags are out, strangely, in the final sector. STSC down losing it quite badly on the double apex final corner. I expect us to be going into the pits this lap, though. Now we've got green flags again, so someone may have gone off apart, I don't know. Jamie250, the other Sauber driver, he's just gone on his out lap. But meanwhile, NJI1 on the prime tyres looking quite competitive here. This looks very strong indeed. A 37.6 on the prime tyres! To go second, but it's not the prize, sorry, it's the option. I was going to say, where did he find that time? I was going to say, where did he find that? So, 1:39.5 from XRL Bernie, meanwhile, to go P7. Sorry, there, viewers, the excitement got the better of me. Jamie2503 still a long way from starting his lap. Same with XRL Rusty. It appears we are in that crossover period between laps here at the moment. On the strategy, though, with regards to the race itself, managing the tyres has shown how important it is to get those in position there. What would be your preferred strategy if you was here on a 50% distance tonight?
Yeah, I've done a lot of 50% running with drivers in the lower divisions, and I recommend a 3-stop strategy. Start on the options, do 5 laps, then pit for a set of primes, do 10 laps, and then do 6 laps on the set of options, and then do the final 7 on another set of option tyres. We're getting a huge amount of time.
Indeed it is. On the stream, Sharky Aaron Tennant's left a message asking for a shout out to his daughter Sophie May, who they lost on Monday. We're very, very sorry to hear of that, but please, any message as well, Willie, please share that with Sharky. That's something that's kind of taken the shine of my evening. In the meantime, on the track here, still waiting for other people to actually get another run in. 4037 still not joined there. As I say, any messages that you want to get out, please get on the stream. We will do our best to get through them. Surprisingly there, Rybo85 has just gone through, into P4 and a 137.8. These guys are looking pretty strong at the moment. Lumina 69, he's got out on another set of the prime tyres, which I find a bit curious. Nikita, meanwhile, she's going on a warm-up lap on the option tyres. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next from her run. Still waiting for anyone to actually start a run here. Sean Bean's just come out as well. He's on the option tyres. Did very, very well in the Formula 1 division last night. Punched way above his weight. And I'm expecting him to deliver on track in a moment. On track, Jamie2503 has just gone through P6, turn 6, sorry. Got quite a bit of lag though when he was going over the curbs there. Almost seemed to go totally off the track. Heading through P10, he's lost it! Too much curve at P10, drifted 4 wheels there. He'll have absolutely destroyed his tyres. Unbelievable. And Sharky's just advised that he's taken the season off, and who could possibly argue with that after what's happened? As I say, condolences from all of us here at XRL Racing League, and we hope to see you racing on track in the future. Sticking on board with Jamie 2.
The car's jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I've been getting out with quite a few of the drivers tonight. There's a lot of lag issues, which are making things very difficult. Right on the board, Jamie side 2503. Yeah, he lost a lot of time at turn 10, only did a 38.5 on the option tyres. He knows he's got a lot more pace in the car there.
Extra have to go 5th place in a 137.9.
That's very impressive. That's impressive. Meanwhile, Sean Bean 22. I was right on board with him. Got through turn 4 in a moment, into 5 on the option tyres. Went very, very wide in the corner there at about apex of 5. Really didn't get that right. But then again, he's carried the extra speed contradictionally through turn 6. Is it one of those tracks like Slactor? Because last night we saw you doing a lot of overtakes on the outside at turn 4. Is that an area where the karting line seems to get you more pace?
Yeah, I had a lot of grip there. Oh, Red Bull almost spun it. But yeah, there's a lot of grip when it's over this Red Bull.
Oh, we need to get another invite to him. This is not a good start. We've already had quite a lot of 5-second lag last night, and now we've had 2 drivers dropping out in qualifying. Really not good here. Right above Sean Bean off through 16, got a bit too much turns on the tyres on the grass there. Lost a bit of pace as a result of that into the double apex of 18-19. Rode that quite well. Pace looks pretty competitive, but I'm not sure if this is going to be anything flash here. 36 is going to be on time. It's a 37.5. Good enough for P2 for Sean Bean. And GP2's pole position times have been very strong, so he can take a lot of heart from that.
Yeah, it's only 4/10 slower than SR's Kodandi's pole time last night.
Yeah, so it shows that there's a lot of pace there in the car, and a lot of the drivers are really punching them up the weight in the lower divisions. And of course, if you are watching this from GP3 downwards, you can get some radar data. Of course, GP3's tomorrow night, no guarantees it's going to be streamed. And then F4 is going to be streamed on the Wednesday night before we have the double classics header of 80s and 90s on Thursday. So Lee, where are those tracks going to be taking us this week?
It's the season finale for the 80s at Melbourne, Australia. Well, we're going to the famous Monza circuit for the 90s.
So you keep an eye on that on Thursday night, but there's a car totally off the track at turn 5 there. Don't know who that was. Just seemed to completely go the wrong way round. Meanwhile, XRL Bernie started a fresh lap on the prime tyres. He needs to find a lot of pace. Currently down in P10.
I think it was Sean Bean that went wide at turn 5.
Interesting. I wonder what caused him to do that.
That's some concentration. But he's on an in-lap now.
Well, meantime, riding on board with XRL Bernie, heading down towards turn 3. Looks pretty okay. Clipped the apex nice there, but took a bit too much of the inside curb. and that's completely thrown him off. As you saw there, the plank was right over the outside curb. That's not going to help you. Good evening to all of you watching tonight. We've got a good turnout so far on the stream, showing that 13 people according to my software. It might be accurate, it might be more, it might be less. But either way, that's a nice high figure. Thank you all for watching here. And as I say, if you want to follow the likes of Sharky, Ritus and Weddick to get some shout-outs, chat box is open. Oh, now we're at 16. This is fantastic. Please keep them coming and keep on watching. If you are going to get in the chat box, please try and keep it civil. Last night got a little out of hand.
Yeah. Hopefully Rider 95 can join the lobby in time.
Yeah, it just seems strange that the connection issues are continued in this game, because one of the problems of this game, as we've seen, we've had lots of 5-second lags, and we have people getting laggy penalties under the safety car, and the disconnections has also been a problem. In the meantime, going on board with XRL Bernie, coming into the final 2 corners. Oh, he's brushed the wall there. Yeah, you were quite right to call that. Yeah, I think he's given it up, hasn't he? It's gone very, very slow, and I think he's going straight back to the pits. Is it easy to do that, you know? Oh, Connor Eyes, meanwhile, has not yet set a lap. He's just started an out lap now. He's going to get round. That's a bit interesting to see someone taking that approach here. But meanwhile, Tom625, he's on an out lap too. Obviously doesn't feel safe on the 37-2. Sean B22's come out for a final run. 148, he's just left the pit lane. Oh, Rivals just made the call, that's good to see. Meanwhile, MGI1, he's just started a third and final lap. Going towards turn 1, seemed to break a bit early there, actually. And has now drifted close to the inside, is coasting very slowly. And I think we might be about to lose another driver here. Please, please don't. This does not look good. Riding on board, unless he's out of fuel.
Not looking good.
On the stream, meanwhile, Mr. Fozzie is just starting another lap. Fozzie 37, he's at the turn 4 at the 38-second mark, looks about par, and the times between the top 4 and 5 is pretty close, around about half a second. Extremely competitive here in this GP2 lobby tonight, brought to you by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Oh, now Fozzie 37's got off the go. Oh, they'll wipe back on. Oh, this is the last thing we need. Meanwhile, the Ferrari's getting totally out of the way of Fozzie there. Excellent driving from that Ferrari driver. And Fozzie now, not sure his pace is too hot as we go for turn 11. Just going about the 105 mark there. Not really sure. On the stream, meanwhile, Rioters has been asked if he's the host for Wednesday by Mr. Deeds. I'm guessing you guys are going to be driving in the F4 race. Rioters also reckons that XRL Bernie's going to finish in the top 5. Well, definitely possible. He's shown good race pace in the past, but his qualifying pace has not been good, and it looks like he's going to be starting down in 10, so he's got it all to do. Then again, so did Ice Cold Andy, and also X-Jambo last night. Coming through the final corner now, Fozzie 37, pace looks okay. At 37.7 is the best he can do, though. That's his qualifying over.
Send a message to Dan, XR Brown, because he's the host. Trying again switch our internet devices, try and improve the connection.
Yeah, well, this late in the thing now, there's not much you can really do here. Well, in the meantime, XRL Rusty's on his final run, coming to the double Apex corner. Apex, oh, he's got too close over the curve at 18 there, and that totally compromised him at 19. Onto the final corner, the final 2 chicane here. Doesn't look impressive, taking the shallowest line. A slight improvement at 137.7. Meanwhile, Nikita 020, she's on another run, currently in P6 on a 38.2. Needs to find a good 0.4 of a second really to have much competitiveness. Through 7 and 8, the flasher case taking the wide line there, and into turn 10, this nice beautiful open corner before the tight hairpin of turn 11. Oh, completely off the track there. Rolled too much to the outside curb, and surely that's her qualifying over now.
Yeah, there's a lot of lag here. Oh, did you get a corner cut there?
Possibly. Meanwhile, Tom625, he's on final run here. He looks pretty solid at the top. Oh, he's gone totally wide though at turn 14, and then clipped the wall at 15. He's really pushing his luck here, all out attacking sector 3, through turn 16 into 17, 18, double apex corner. Want to make sure you don't go too far off the track, keeps that nicely in the lines there, and he's got a chance to go flat through the final 2 corners. Can he? Oh, he's got Ferrari ahead of him. I don't think it hampered him in any way, but even so, he's lost time and not been able to move forward. Sean B22, 36.7. Sean B goes on a 36.7 to take provisional pole, and now Fozzie 37's on.
On my screen, Tom overtook Sean just before Sean set his fastest lap.
Yeah, how does that work?
Sean's lagging, that's for sure. Sean Bean must be lagging.
In the meantime, on the stream though, Clarbs and Rioters are both backing Sean Bean for the win. The Rioters is also hedging his bets a little and saying for XRL Rusty, not XRL, it's XRL Fearless even, to potentially get there. If you got predictions, please keep going on. Sharky meanwhile was saying that Bernie says he's not got the pace at Korea. To be fair, it's not the easiest of tracks to get right, due to the nature of the circuit with the compromised setup and the low grip nature plus the tyre wear. A lot of people struggle at Korea. So it's one of those circuits. Again, if you've got any more predictions or anything else you want to say on the stream, please get that to us and we'll happily get through as many as we can. So we're going to make our way out to the grid very, very shortly. With the pace that Sean Bean showed last night, he's possible for the win, but I actually would recommend XRL Fearless. If it wasn't for some issues that he had on track, he could have been right near the podium last night in F1, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does the same again.
Well, given a hard task because he's starting right at the very back. And it's possible, if he gets his strategy right and gets up through the field quickly, then you never know.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks, this. We saw last night in F1 how some of the drivers can get really, really close here in terms of actual on-track action. There's lots of places where people really duke it out. Give you a quick rundown of the order in full then. We've got Sean B22 on pole, Tom625 in second. Oh, I've got a message from Sean. What's he saying? Let's find out. Oh, just saying hell yeah. Even when he's racing, he wants to get a shout out on the stream. What's he like?
I'm pretty sure it's like, and someone's ready it up.
Someone's ready up without our say-so. If we find you. MJI1 in third place, Lawrence 37 in fourth, XRL Rusty in fifth, Nikita 0206, STSC down in seventh place, Jamie 2503 in eighth, London 69 off the pace in ninth, XRL Bernie way down in the 10th, Connor Ice down in 11th, and then we've got Rybon 95 and 12 and XRL Fearless. Both suffered the disconnection, though they will have the chance to change their tyres, and that might give them the edge. So let's get out to the circuit, and we're going to be bringing you here live, uninterrupted coverage brought to you tonight by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. And Rybo, we've already lost him, so he's not even had the chance to make the grid. This is not a good start. That's the sound of me knocking on wood, and hopefully it'll stop this, but, well, depends how superstitious you are.
But we don't have another moniker.
Oh, that's the last thing that I want. Yeah, Rybon 95 is showing us first, apparently. No, it's not. Yeah. so here we are on the grid at Mokpo, South Korea, the Yongnam circuit for round 14 of the GP2 division. And once those 5 lights go out, we are going to be racing here for 28 laps, and the race begins now. So as we go down to the first corner, Sean's got a good start. Meanwhile, Tom65 with a massive pressure. Force India's collided. Hit him on the outside there. Was just been able to get away with that. One of the McLarens appears to be sliding all over the place there. Not sure who that was. But in the meantime, we've got one. Yeah, look at this now. Tom625 totally under pressure here as we got one of the Force Indians going right around the outside. This looks pretty strong. Oh, the Force Indians have split the Sauber and both are through to second and third respectively. Bit of an incident behind there. One of the cars went off track. Not sure who that was. Tom65 now under big pressure in the McLaren from Fuzzy37, who's doing a great job here, trying to get close to the back of that Sauber, but he's just not got the grip to make the move into turn 4, going into turn 5, got the tighter line, but Tom65, oh, he hits the curb there! Nikita goes through in the Ferrari, so does the Red Bull and the Mercedes. Oh, disaster by Fuzzy37, all the way down to 9th place as Connor Ice slips through to 8th, and then in 7th we've got the Limited 69 who's all over the back of the Mercedes of STSC down 97, who are both chasing after the Nikita 020, and then we've got Tom65, the big loser here, down to 4th place, and 3rd place now we've got the first Force India of MJI1, who's chasing after his teammate XRL Rusty, and Sean B, meanwhile, he's got the legs to pull away. Rusty makes a mistake, and MJI1 thinks we're going to the inside, and turn 15, oh, Tom65 hit the back of the car there, MJI1 sneaks through, and look at Nikita, has gone past both Tom625, and also XRL Rusty, fantastic driving to take 3rd place. But Tom 625 gets better grip off the final corner going up to turn 1. No DRS action for this lap, so he's going to make it stick while he can. Going around the outside, taking a long way round. No, he's just kept it on the island. And XRL Rusty's lost 2 more places now. He's going backwards through the field unbelievably quickly. STSC now down to P5. And we've got Connor Eyes who's under big pressure from one of the Mercedes driving on the prime tyres. He's just Fearless has completely out-dragged him. And also moving down 16. Well, look at the response from Connor Eyes on the brakes to take that position back. Superb defensive driving.
This is already up to 7th place. And yeah, it was XR Bunny who went off at turn 3 in the first lap.
XR Fearless thinking about taking your favourite ride around the outside of turn 4, but has just not got the grip. And Liminez 69 is now all over the back of him in the Red Bull. And behind there we've got a massive scrap going on. We've got the McLaren being piloted by Fozzie 37, and then we've got the teammate to Thomas 625. I believe that is none other than Jamie 2503 in P10, bringing up the points field. Liminez 69 taking on the inside of XR Fearless. Return the 8 there, gives up the move though. XRL Fearless getting a great drive on Connor Eyes on turn 11, was just not on the track to get around the double apex corner at 12 and 13. Liminez 69 is all over the back of him now. This is a seesawing effect, guys, tumbling out. Oh, big mistake! Liminez 69 gets too much curve, almost spins it, but catches it absolutely beautifully, and that pulls him away now from the back of XRL Fearless, who's all over Connor Eyes to try and take that position. Well, yeah, just called out on the backward view there. That was a bit too far forward. XRL Fearless totally under the wing now. Connor Eyes, no DRS, but he's not waiting around. He's not giving it a chance. Into turn 1, but Connor Eyes has shown so how good he is on the brakes here. Fearless is not giving this up though. Connor Eyes pulls to the inside to try and get the toe. Going down the main straight towards turn 3. No DRS active now. He's just got the flap open at this crucial point. The curse has not been deployed. He's saving up towards turn 4. Intelligent driving. But up ahead, we've got a 3-car scrap once again between the main leaders here, between 4th and 2nd place. We've got Tom 625 all over the back of Nikita, who's trying to get very close to the back of MJI1, who's currently in P2. Going wide a bit, turn 4 there, Nikita, but keeps it on the track beautifully to ensure she's all over the back of that Force India. Absolute vice grip on the back of that car. Even if the qualifying pace wasn't there, that Ferrari's got monumental race pace by the looks of it. Trying to go around the outside of turn 9, that's brave. Into turn 10, backs out of the moon there, Nikita. She's really being frustrated by this Force India. Who can blame her? She's got so much pace. But MGI1 is doing everything right, sticking the car exactly where it needs to be to ensure that that position retains. Moving further back, I just noticed these 2 cars very close together, and that's going to be the Connor Eyes and also the Liminez 69, I think. Yes, Connor Eyes and Liminez 69. Well, this is breathless stuff for the opening laps here at Motocross South Korea, viewers. You all got silent on me, you got nothing to say, you all lost your breath. I don't blame you if you do. Tom 625 trying to close it to the back of Nikita. Has got the DRS flap over down towards turn 1, trying to close that gap, but Nikita's got the same advantage on MGI1, and he's got to be careful here that he doesn't get mugged by both cars going into turn 3.
I think Nikita's too far back. She stays her curves turn 4, then she might have a chance.
Yeah, that's the intelligent strategy here, if you can possibly make it work. We saw Roman Grosjean do that to great effect in last year's Grand Prix at Korea, so it's definitely something that can be done. Interestingly, not deploying the curves here, unusual strategy from Nikita. I wonder if she's wanted to try and save the curves at the final corner to be closer towards turn 1.
Possibly, or she could use the curves at the exit turn 6.
Let's find out. We're right here now. I wonder, have you seen T-Saki tape or not this time?
Tiny bit of curves there.
There's been a call on the street from Wright's Tag that someone was in the pits. Yeah, that's as close as I'm going to be able to tell you because I didn't see it myself. As Nikita goes wide at turn 10, doesn't really lose too much pace though.
It was Fozzie 37. It's better for new set option tyres.
That's very early in the race. Surely that's far too early.
I know.
But in the meantime, big mistake there from MGI1 at turn 14, and that's got Nikita all over the back of his gearbox at 15 into the 16 corner, just too keeping right close to the back of that Force India. Double Apex corner at 17-18, you'd be brave to pass someone there, as well as with the DRS zones that are coming up now, and Nikita can't afford to hang around, because right behind her, Tom 625 has come around back to the pair of them. We got a 3-car scrap for second place, but look at Sean Bean, he's got a good 5 seconds now.
Slightly away from Nikita.
Same with Tom 65 a little bit, but all they're keeping it just in the lines, just about legal. There goes the curse of Tom 65 trying to get close to the back of Nikita. Ahead, she's done the same strategy, DRS slap open, as they try to get down to MGI. Well, look at the straight line speed Nikita's got there. But on the brakes, Tom 65 caught totally out there, and has totally got that wrong, and has taken off MGI1. Unbelievable! What? That was completely misjudging his lines. No doubt he's got a penalty there, but Nikita will be taken quite deep press by that, because she was caught in that sandwich. It could have been very easy to fill in. That was taken out. Fortunately for her, they missed her.
Yeah, Tom's getting the place back, so he shouldn't get a penalty from the stewards, but he might get a penalty from the game.
Definitely. Now, MGI1 has been moved down all the way to 6th place as a result of that calamitous error. And Tom 65 is now down in 7th, which is almost certainly going to be the back of the field if he has to go in for a drive-through. Really unsure what happened there. I don't know if that was lag. I don't know if that was him being caught out by Nikita's braking zone. Whatever it was a tragic mistake and has really cost them dear. XRL Fearless now finds himself in 4th place as a result of that, and on the prime tyres. Well, from one person's misfortune is another person's fortune, and he's right up very close to the back of his teammates, STSC Dan, on the option tyres. Keep an eye on XRL Fearless, he might suddenly be in the pound seat here.
STSC Dan box. Yeah, right time.
Gets himself away from the scrap here, moving further back through the field as we try and get on board with that bit of a duel there. Tom 65 once again trying to get up close to MJI1. He'll be thinking twice about the line he takes as both guys go a little wide there and made a bit of a mistake.
We've got STSC down and Connor out in the pits right now.
And once again, this time, wisely, Tom 65 keeps his distance behind. A bit of a lag issue there. There was 2 drivers who looked like they were very close together. We've got XRL Bernie being chased by JB2503. Bernie on the opposite of the prime tyres goes wide at turn 4 to try and get the title line for 5, but has gone too far off the track, and JB2503 goes, thank you very much. I'll have that 7th place if you don't mind, and drives his way through. Meanwhile, Tom 625 is all over the back of MJI1 now, desperately trying to get close to the back of that Force India without taking him off. That was almost like Sutil and Esteban Gutierrez at China in reverse. How ironic is that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
On the stream, you've all been very quiet despite the calamitous mistakes. Go on, you got any comments you want to get out there? Or are you all too enthralled in the action? If you are, who can blame you? JB2503 has got XRL Birdie all over his chuffers, just hit the wall there, going into sector 3. He enjoyed doing that a bit too much in qualifying. Is it easy to lose your wings there if you get too close to the walls?
If you take too much curve, then yes, it's like you lose the back end, hit the wall.
Tom 65 box says now, I'm going to watch on board here. I want to know if this is a drive-through penalty. Doesn't look like it, because I can see white people in the pit lane. No, it's not. He's coming for his box.
But he didn't get a penalty.
Oh, and he stacked his teammate up! And JB2503 is retired! Well, that's interesting. Why did he retire? Do you want to get him in so we can try and get his comments?
Yeah.
On the stream, writer's tag is saying OMG. At what? Well, be more specific. There's a lot of things you can say OMG to in this race at the moment. Meanwhile, as an accident, there's a bit of a duel going on back in the back end of the points here. In 8th place, Connor Ice has just muscled his way past Tom 625. Hi there, Jamie. I saw that you got stacked up in the pits behind Tom. Was that what facilitated you to retire, or was there something else? Hello there, Jamie, can you hear us?
Jamie?
Right, it appears we've got a bit of a connection error here. Pre-invite so we can try and get his comments again. In the meantime, Tom625 going through turns 9 and 10. Meanwhile, on the stream, penalty on you, riotous. Calling me racist for saying there's white people in the pit lane. That's a 30-second penalty to your time in F4. So Tom625 going off turn 11 there, heading towards the double apex corner at 12 and 13. Getting as close as he can to the back of Connor Eyes and the Warriors. Closest battle on track, like I see. Hi there, Jamie. We'll try again. We saw you were stuck in the pits behind your teammate Tom625. Was that the thing that facilitated the retirement?
No, I actually lost connection to the lobby. I could hear Dan saying that I was lagging all over the place, and it was on my screen.
Yeah, I can hear it.
People were lagging all the time, and then I just lost connection to the lobby.
Right, so it was actually a loss of connection. It wasn't a case of my teammates helped me up, I'm retiring. Oh, well, that's good. My commentator partner's now left the party. Okay, right. Okay, viewers, I'm just going to commentate this one very quickly. Tom625 looking for a move on the outside of Connor Eyes. Connor Eyes fighting back with DRS. Tom625 strangely didn't deploy his. Now towards turn 3, they're side by side. Tom625 thinking about taking the shallower line for the cutback. They're still side by side going towards turn 4. No curse from either driver as far as I can see. Unbelievably close here. Well, Connor Eyes is shoving him into motocross. They're rubbing wheels into turn 4. Connor Eyes got to be careful here that he doesn't push him off the track. But Connor Eyes takes that place back beautifully. Now, I'm going to have to cut away from the action very briefly as I try and get my commentator back into the party. So I really do apologise for you all. Bear with me a moment. Okay, meantime, then Nikita's caught to the back of this Mercedes pairing of XRL Fearless, who's all over the back of his teammate, STFC Dan. Welcome back, LGS. What happened there? Oh, well, luckily we managed to get you back in for the meantime. Now, we've got 2 free-car scraps on the battle. Heads or tails, viewers, do you want to see the Mercedes and Nikita, or the guys further back from 7th to 9th? So, I don't know who I can colour. XRL Fearless is all over the back of his teammate. Yeah, Phil's looking at the inside of turn 1, and Nikita's thinking of following him through. Oh, this is very clever driving. Oh, in contact there on the outside of turn 2. Nikita makes sure she doesn't take an advantage. There goes the curse, and there goes the DRS flap. But at the same time, STSC Dan has got the same advantage. Heading out towards turn 3, they're side by side here, viewers. Let's watch from the reverse camera. Nikita going later on the brakes, and that's a sensational overtake for P5.
They can still use the option tyres there.
In the meantime, XRL Bernie in 7th place is now under massive pressure as Connor Eyes in 8th and Tom625 in 9th are both bearing down on him very, very quickly indeed. Tom625 takes a look at Connor Eyes on the outside of turn 4, decides it's best not to make that move at this time, and straight away we've got 2 more cars looking like they're going to join the back of this field. It's like we're getting 2 huge nuclei that want a massive fight in the middle of the womb here. This is ridiculous.
I know.
I go through turns 8 and 9, Tom625 weaving this way and that way. Connor Eyes is not going to make it easy through 10, and Tom625 takes the wider line, trying to set up for a shallower turn into 11. Gets out of the brakes early as Connor Eyes makes a mistake, goes over the curve on the outside, that's giving slower drive up. Tom625 thinking on the inside, 12 and 13. There's a little bit of contact there, and contact again. Both guys rubbing wheels like hammer and tongs like it's the 1980s here, but they just about get away with that through 14 and 15. That could have so easily been an accident, but they got away with that. Tom625 going through 16 into 17, 18, trying to get as close as possible to Connor Eyes, but at the same time, right behind him now is his old nemesis MJI1, who's caught to the pair of him, but Tom625 is not hanging around, getting him towards the final corner down towards turn 1, and the DR slam is on from MJI1, who's taking advantage of this, getting a great toe on the side, and dies on the inside of turn 1. Tom625 gets totally out of the way there, and MJI1 makes the look all too easy. XRL Rusty now is also catching up to the back of Tom625.
Tom625 didn't deploy his DRS in the pit straight.
Very interesting. Meanwhile, then GI1 thinks about down on the inside, and Connor Eyes lay on the brake. Contact between the Williams and the Force India. Both drivers side by side, neck and neck. Curves being deployed by GI1.
Rusty went straight on at turn 3.
Oh, well, that's bad news for Rusty. Like he was in a chance for a good fight here. Heading out towards turn 4. Tom 625 calls out to the back of Connor Eyes, who's all over the back of MGI1. But MGI1 is resisting the pressure, doing all he can to avoid it, losing the position here. Tom 625 now staring at the back of both the Williams and the Force India. He's not going to want to stay there for much longer, that's for sure. On the straight right, this tag is saying that XRL Rusty is good on the prime run. Well, it would be if you hadn't gone off at turn 3, because that suggests that there's a lot more pace to be found in the car, and accuracy.
He's currently last. He's right behind 40-37, but the McLaren's just pitted. So I think 40's going to do a 4-stop strategy here.
That's what seems like an excessive amount. Well, Connor Eyes makes a mistake at turn 15, goes off onto the AstroTurf. Tom 65 though isn't close enough to take advantage as we go through 16 into double apex hander of 17-18. Connor Eyes once again making a mistake, clattering the inside curve, car fishtailing away from him. You know, the curves like that here at Courier where they can really unsettle the car.
Yeah, the final sector is quite tricky to maintain rear stability because of the curves and the low downforce. You just got to be easy on the throttle and try to avoid the curves to avoid wheel spin.
Well, Tom 65 certainly didn't get a very... Oh, we were up ahead! Unbelievable, we've got an attack here from NGI1 all over Louis Dead 69. Indeed, he's gone right past the Red Bull with almost no fight there. Almost didn't catch that. As Tom 65 has also got past Connor Eyes, but Connor Eyes is very, very close going towards turn 4. I can't keep up with what's going on. Someone help! I can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, Louis Dead 69 is just boxed. So he's doing a fresh set of primes.
And he's certainly catching up quickly to NGI1 here through this sector. NGI1 is slipping and sliding as this rubber's falling away, while Louis Dead 69 is quickly building up to temperature. So that's going to definitely give him the better rubber the green later on, surely. Going through turn 10, Louis Dead 69 saying up towards 11. Oh, mistake there, NGI1 got a little wide. Louis Dead 69 thought he could capitalise, but NGI1 planted the car in the right position to get the straight line and the faster exit speed to just recover the composure. Heading into this final sector now, this is the where flow is very important. And through turn 14, and Louis Dead 69 got a much better drive there, has chopped into NGI1 contact, and NGI1 takes a position back, heading to the final corner. Louis Dead 69 is evasive action over the curves, and he's now brought the Sauber of Tom 625 along for the ride. All of a sudden we've got another 3-car duel, and Tom 65 is very close to the back of the Red Bull, but again he's not deploying his DRS. Is this strategic, do you think, to try and avoid getting past at turn 1 and repass on the DRS?
Must be, because his DRS is definitely not broken.
Kerr's deployed by Tom 625. I imagine it's also been done by the 69. Kerr's and DRS deployed, and Tom 65 goes, sorry mate, I'm not going to make it that easy. And he's now closing up quickly to the back of NGI1, but surely he's too far back for a late diving move. And Louis Dead 69 tries a brilliant move on the outside here, and that's a fantastic retake from Louis Dead 69. Absolutely superb.
Brilliant.
Tom 65 is not going to be happy about that. Louis Dead 69 thought about going on the inside of NGI1. These guys are all into turn 5, can't you? No, he's gone over the curve. That would be an illegal overtake. Louis Dead 69 wisely retains position. These guys just want to have a scrap today. On the straight right, as Tag is saying, there's some extremely aggressive driving today, but fun to watch when they need to be careful. You'll get no disagreement from me on that one. Louis Dead 69 pulls out the slipstream to turn 11. Oh, contact again! And possibly forced NJ off the track there. We'll need to have that re-investigation after the race. And Tom 65 as a result capitalises. I'm not sure that was a fair pass there from Louis Dead 69. MGI1 trying to get close to the back of Tom 625. It goes wide at the penultimate corners there. Gets grass on the tyres as a result of compromised exit. Now the final corners, indeed, he's gone over the white lines there, Tom 625. Got to be careful you don't do that too much or it won't be a penalty. And DRS lap is over from MGI1, but he wisely, oh no, he's still got the inside. Tom 625 has deliberately slowed down and let him through, the wily old fox, because now he's going to be able to use the curves, get the DRS, and simply blast back past. Or at least that's what he wants to do, but MGI1 covers him off. He's not going to make it easy. Tom 625 goes to the right side of the track, setting up for the tighter line into turn 3, and MGI1 shots back across him as contact again. Tom 65 once more hitting him, and as a result of that, we're looking at Fozzy 37 pounces and goes round the outside.
Stupid mistake from Tom 65. Like, by letting MGI1 pass at turn 1, yeah, he's just losing time. Now he's lost 2 positions.
Indeed he has, because Fozzy 37 wisely stuck close to the back. Very good driving from Fozzy 37 there. If you're watching the lower divisions, that's what you need to do. As soon as an opportunity comes, you've got to take it. And he's definitely done that to get 8th place. I mean, at the moment, we could cover the lead pack, but there's too much going on at the back at the moment. As Fozzy 37 is now all over the back of MJI1, trying to get as close as possible to the back of the Force India. And Tom 65 in the Sauber dropped off a little bit, but he's not out of touching distance yet. The question is, can Fozzy 37 find a way past the Force India and stay there?
Well, Fozzy's on an aggressive strategy. I'm still thinking he's on a 4-stop strategy.
In which case, he definitely needs to make these passes count, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Going through the penultimate corner. Fozzy 37 goes a bit too wide there, and that gives a Fozzy 37, sorry, MGI1 goes a bit too wide. Fozzy 37 has the perfect chance, and behind him, Tom 65 has gone into the pits, and also ahead of them, with XRL Bernie who's dived in as well. So this is the battle now for 6th place, as Fozzy 37 gets a bit tight close to the apex at turn 1, and into the DRS zone now towards turn 3. Great opportunity if you've got low drag here. Kirsten Bright, Fozzy 37 opens the flat. Let's ride on board, see how close he can get. MGI1 goes defensive to the right and then filters back to the left. Fozzy 37's not having any of it. And that's the mistake that's broke his pass. Heading on to turn 4, no curves left from Fozzy 37, so he's going to do the old-fashioned way. He wants to get past this Force India here. Thinking about turn 4, possibly taking the leaf out of your book last night, but it's not close enough to make that stick.
No, you've got to be right beside MGI for your opponent.
Oh, he's made a mistake at turn 6 though, and that's going to give Fozzy 37 better drive up the hill. But with the curves now will help, because this fast chicane you can't really pass that, but it might give him a chance into turn 11 if he can nail turn 10. That's something I never thought I'd say online, nail turn 10. Right, a bit of poke at the opposition there for Codemasters. Going through turn 11, Fozzy 37 getting a better line on MGI1, but he's a little too far back to make the move stick.
Yeah, he'll be struggling here to determine it out.
Oh, big mistake from MGI1, goes off the track at turn 14 into 15 though. He recovers his composure to just keep the gap, and that's going to make things a bit easier now if we pull away from Fozzy 37. Fozzy's got to get as close as he can for his DRS though. MGI1 seems to be really struggling with grip now though, because he's going wide a hell of a lot. Are we going to see him into the box soon?
Got a car just leaving the pit lane. Should be XRL fearless.
Fozzy 37. Oh, MGI1's made a big mistake at turn 1. That's compromising at turn 2 now, but he's had to get out of the gas, Fozzy 37, as MGI1 was a little too close to his wheels. DRS flap over, curves deployed. He gets the toe. Oh, multiple changes of direction there from MGI1. That was at least 2 changes of direction, and that's definitely not allowed in the rules.
Look a bit like lag.
Well, that's something that'll need to be reviewed by the stewards after the race, but that was not good. On the stream, writers tag is saying it's frustrating to see GP2 drivers consistently go all 4 tyres up, as XRL Fail is passing his teammate, who put up no fight whatsoever, really. We've got Lemon Dead 69 running in P3, being very, very strong, and then the quiet race from Nikita's going well, currently in P2. It looks like it's actually a Ferrari 1-2 at the moment, as Sean B's got a pretty big lead here.
Oh, hold on. XRL Fails is trying to go around the outside. STFC down, Lemon Dead 69.
I just caught the end of that, fantastic!
Yeah, Fearless has just boxed a brand new setups and tyres. Make that grip. Oh, has he got understeer? Oh, no, it's like.
Yeah, he's gone back on the track and he's still got quite a gap now to Living Dead 69. That was a brilliant overtake, that was very rare you see anyone pass there. As I caught the very tail end of that on the stream, so all you people on there were slamming your hands on the dash, asking for more coverage. Well, there it is. The Living Dead 69, is he going to be close enough for Kurz and DRS here? I'm not sure he is. Let's ride on board as we get to the detection line and the activation. Yes, there's the collapse, but he's surely not close enough.
Yeah, Fearless has got the traction on those option tyres to pull away.
Well, we're more than halfway through this race here, GP2 of South Korea, so not long to go now until the end. And it's been a pretty quiet race up front for the two Ferraris. Once Nikita was had both Tom 625 and MGI on disposal. But XRL Rusty, because a bit too wide at turn 3, and XRL Bernie on the option tyres has got past him at 3. But XRL Rusty's got a great chance into turn 4 now, looking to make a move at the inside, but backs out of it as XRL Bernie takes that place very, very strongly indeed.
Yeah, Rusty's on very old set of crowd tyres. Expect him in the pits very soon.
STSC down running in P5 on his own, and the next Living Dead 69 is 4th place, while XRL Fearless doing a very strong recovery drive, pretty much 13th to 3rd, living up to the pace that he showed last night in the F1 division, and who knows what would have happened if he hadn't disconnected from qualifying. That's one of the bigger losses.
Race leader is in the pits.
Well, Sean B's in the pits, Nikita goes through. I can see that on the mini-map. Now, XRL Fearless, he should go through as well. The question is, how close to Sean B is he going to be? It's going to be very tight, this. Sean B's just coming up to the pit exit now, and this is as close as it's going to get. But XRL Fearless is through. Let's run on board with Sean B, though, because he's going to be right in the detection zone for DRS.
Yeah, it's got the undercut on Sean.
Well, there's the DRS flap open, and brand spanking new tyres. Look at the straight line speed advantage Sean B's got there, and he's dubbing in, got to the right. Oh, that's a fantastic move from Sean B. Brief contact with him and Fearless. Both guys side by side off turn 3 there, heading towards turn 4. But Fearless appears to be responding with some curves there to pull away on down towards turn 4. Very intelligent drive from the Mercedes driver. As we go into turn 4, great defensive performance there from XRL Fearless. That's how you defend the pass at South Korea. Wonderful stuff.
Yeah, Sean B's got a good gearbox for them. Top speed of 206 miles per hour.
And with the DRS, I mean, that was eating it up. But great tactics from XRL Fearless to save the curves and be able to make that crucial pull away. Because the last thing Sean B wants is to be held up by a guy who's pitted earlier, while his teammate has now got the chance to build the gap. Are we going to see a switch in the order, and are we going to see Nikita take the checkered flag because of this? Anything is possible, because Fearless has not pitted long ago.
Nikita's only made one stop, while Fearless and Sean's has made 2.
So it does. Stop. Yeah, the gap's actually come down to Nikita, because Nikita seems to struggle through sector 3 there. But Sean B now is really very close to Fearless. Fearless pulls wide onto the pitch straight. Sean B decides to go to the inside. Wisely decides not to use the DRS. Well, he knows there's no advantage in passing. For me, this is why there should not be 2 detection zones. We should be like a Melbourne, Australia, where there's 1. Because there should be 1. Like Australia had that, Canada used to have that. Have 1 detection zone, because Abu Dhabi's got the same problem. Oh, you get past and then you get repassed. What is the point?
I know.
For Sean B,
the DRS one's just too long.
Sometimes they're too long. Yeah, sometimes they're too long and too powerful. And other times they're too close together. Now, meantime, Sean B22 is all over the back of XRL Fearless, who's really muscled up close to Nikita now, going through turn 6 and into the double chicane of 7 and 8. And Fearless is all over the place behind her. Sean B says it's all over the contact into turn 10 there. Sean B backs out of the move, and this is compromising both their races here. The last thing they need is to be held up by, well, what's potentially a back marker. as Nikita backs up her Fearless into a teammate, playing the team game beautifully here, you could say, through total 13, into 14, and Fearless decides to dive around the outside, and then Nikita backs off completely. Very good team play there from Nikita to let Sean Bean through, and the two guys scrapping for the lead, and now back on tongues to be able to battle as long as they like.
Yeah, Nikita's tyres are dead. She should pit this lap, and she is.
Yeah, so Nikita's dived into the box while Sean Bean's got the DRS all over down towards turn 1, using the first one to catch, and hopefully for him, the second one to pass. But XRL Fearless has shown how strong he is, and he might be able to defend this.
I think Sean Bean has.
Well, he's used all the curves, and that's given a huge, tremendous advantage. DRS allows him to pull away slightly there. But then also, XRL Fearless living up to his name on the brakes, trying to go around the outside of 3. He did that in F1 last night, but Sean B just muscled him out.
The other states have this curve to the straight.
Yeah, he has indeed. XRL Fearless looking to make a move. And Sean B goes wide at turn 4. This is a great opportunity now for Fearless. If he stays on the outside here, he might have the better line for 6. Sean B all over the place, very ragged, but has managed to retain the lead for now. On the stream, meantime, Mr. D's 1983 asking, it's not up to date with GP2, but did Sean B race Red Bull? He did, but then he quit because of connection issues, and then they need to fix themselves a bit better, so he was tempted to return and come back initially as a cover driver, but he's enjoyed it so much he's doing both F1 and GP2, so double downing for the rest of the season. I'm doing a mighty fine job of it because he's still the only driver to win both F1 and GP2 races at the same track in the same week. He's done it twice this season.
I know. He should be definitely permanently. But I think he's leaving at the end of the season because he's got like exams in May. He'll miss the first half of the season.
Which is understandable. So in the meantime, XRL Fearless trying to get that gap down to Sean Bean, who's managed to pull quite a bit away out of the end of sector 3 there, going in towards the hairpin corners, and XRL Fearless, watches Sean Bean get a little out of shape there, but he's not close enough to really affect the pass. Curves being deployed down towards the activation zone for DRS, flat wide open. Can he get the same kind of speed advantage that Sean Bean did? This looks pretty strong, but is he going to run just out of space into the braking zone? Fearless realises he's not quite close enough. Mr. D saying on the screen that he reckons that Sean Bean just wanted to trade so he'd have Nikita as his teammate. What are you trying to say there, Mr. D? Are you trying to allege that some panky-panky's going on? Meantime, Ryder Stag is reckoning that Sean prefers Dan, as he was always number 2 and Sean was always number 1 in that team pairing. Make up your own mind, viewers, I'm saying nothing.
Yeah, I don't want to think of it.
Shouldering arms and letting the ball carry to the wicketkeeper. As XRL Fearless goes to turn 11, trying to get as close as possible to the back of Sean B, who might as well stick with this battle for the lead, because both guys are in contention for a lot of points here, and points in the championship make a big difference. Going through 12-13, Sean B seems to get the better exit there. Evidently he's got the car's better surf, and also Fearless seems to be getting wobbly connection. Please, not now. We lost him in qualifying, we can't lose him at this point. His acceleration's all over the place now. This does not look good to me. Yeah, we've lost him! How frustrating! A second driver goes. Get him in here so we can get his comments.
We've got the 11 down to 69 in the pits. We've got a free car scrap for 3rd place now.
Yeah, XRL Bernie is ahead of Nikita in P5. And then Tom 6. Yeah, it will be because the 11 down to 69 is going. Fearless! It seems really frustrating to what's happened. How was the race for you before the connection issues?
Perfect. Not overweight, but perfect. I made way from last, up into first practically. I was going to add the pace on short. I was going to pit the next lap. And then
Nikita, sorry to go across, she uses DRS. It's a blast past XRL Bernie, a little contact as she goes by towards turn 3. Well, that's an excellent move by the Ferrari driver. Sorry, Phil, let's carry on.
Yeah, so I was at lap 21, and then he was going to pit a few laps later. I think I would have jumped him, and then I had enough pace, I think, to stay clear from him, maybe pull a bit of a gap and go on for the win. But
Oh, well, As I say, it's a real shame that it's happened. But your pace from F1 division last night and from this race shows that you've got a lot of fundamental power in the car. Do you reckon that'll give you a chance at Suzuka next week?
I don't know. It's whether my connection stays or whether it just kicks me out the lobby. That's the only question. I know I've got the pace at not at every track, but I know I'll have some sort of pace to challenge Sean, because I know he's my main rival, but just whether my connection can hold.
Okay, well, we're very sorry it's happened to you. Well, thank you very much for providing some great action, and we'll see you next week at Suzuka.
Yeah, see ya.
Well, in the meantime, now Tom625 is closing up to the back of XRL Fearless. XRL Bernie even, sorry. Tom625 almost hitting the back of the diffuser of Bernie. I think Bernie's tyres may have gone, and he might be going for one final stop here. Indeed, he's gone straight into the box.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's going to pit for one more cell option tyres.
Meantime, Livingston 69 is now back in P4 on fresh tyres. So the question is, can Tom625 and Nikita on the primes resist the pressure? As Livingston 69 is only a little bit close to the back of Tom625. Indeed, DRS flap open, curse deployed as he tries to get as close as possible into turn 3. Tom625 defends on the outside, Livingston 69 says to attack on the inside. Very late on the brakes there, snaps on the anchors beautifully late, and that's a fantastic DRS overtake. You described that as perfect.
Yeah, it was just 7.69, got the car stopped in time, stayed within the track limits. Oh, great exit at turn 3.
Definitely the kind of thing you want to emulate if you're racing in GP3, F4 or F5. That's the kind of driving that gets you towards the podium, as Living Dead 69 have proven so far today. A number of the drivers who was out of pace on qualifying, all the way down in 9th. Well, that just goes to show race pace is where it all matters.
Definitely.
Well, there's a bit of a gap for me now. Let's work further back through the field.
Sean Bean in the pits now for his final stop.
Well, we're right on board with Sean Bean now, because I want to find out how close he is to the other guys as in regards to where his position is on the track when he rejoins. Because there goes, he just released from his pit box now, heading down towards the main first corner. No sign of anyone on the minimap, but the minimap's not too far in the distance regarding perspective. Goes on the outside, and he's just going to keep the lead by the looks of it. In second place, yes, Nikita's only just made it to turn 1, so that's a great and crucial moment there for Sean Bean. Meanwhile, someone else is in the box behind, I don't know who that was.
That is Tom65.
Ah, and Tom65 is going to come out behind and the other Red Bull,
Bernie.
I think. Bernie, yes, come out behind XRL Bernie, yes. So Tom65's got it all to do here.
This is Tom65's best opportunity to close the gap on the championship for XL Fearless. The gap was 30 points, so right now it will be 24. But
It's a great opportunity.
Going to be right in the championship mix if he wins here.
Well, Sean Bean's just shown what it takes when you come back with the pace here. He's done a magnificent job in the GP2 division. As Louis Dead 69 starts to close in on the back of the Kita 020. Don't be putting your bets on Ferrari 1-2 at the moment, viewers. This race is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Louis Dead 69 getting a decent exit on turn 11 there, and that gap has visibly decreased. At the same time, I don't think Sean Bean's getting away either. I can't see Louis Dead 69 catching Sean, but I could definitely see him muscling to the back of Nikita very shortly indeed.
I'm guessing Sean Bean's just saving fuel and trying to get the fastest lap.
Well, why not?
Does at the end.
Paul fastest lap on the race for him, go for the Grand Slam, why not? So Louis Dead 69 getting as close as he can to the final straight Nikita, and he's in the DRS zone now. DRS active down towards turn 1. Nikita's going to have to start getting very defensive here because that Red Bull has shown great pace, and we saw with the move that he pulled off a couple of laps ago how good he is at stopping the car with the DRS.
Yeah. He's got to make this move count very soon. Probably on 2 laps because his tyres will be dead at the end.
Got a little wide at turn 3 there, but was managed to find grip without going on the marbles. Pushing it to the limit, and he's put a bit of curves on there to get as close to the back of Nikita as he can, using this lap to catch, and hopefully the next lap to pass. That's what he needs to do, and he needs to give himself a chance if he wants to come second and split this Ferrari pairing and help his team in the Constructors' Championship. Going through turn 6, and he got a magnificent drive on turn 6 there, up the hill, and that's fantastically done. That's opportunism.
Have to remind ourselves that Nikita got a 20-second penalty from Monza. She didn't take part in Singapore, so she had to. So her penalty will be introduced here. It's a shame.
It is a shame, but it's a question as to where the other drivers are. Are STSC Dan and Fozzy 37 going to finish within that 20-second gap? I'm not too sure, but they're both battling each other right now, and if these two get very close on the track, their lap times will increase, and that will mean the gap gets bigger and bigger. I'm not sure it's 20 seconds at the moment, but I don't think it's far off it.
Well, Nikita crosses the line now.
I think it's currently around about 14 seconds. Maybe between 16. 4 seconds to find in 3 laps. And if Fozzy 37 gets close to the back of STSC down, that's possible.
But right now, Nikita's in 5th place. She's still trying to catch the Lemon Dead 69. She just needs to pull away. Just push hard.
Fozzy 37 makes a great DRS attempted move here, down towards turn 3, and at the same time STSC has gone off the track of his own accord and slowed the car down. Well, that's definitely helped Nikita's chances now, because he's lost at least 3 seconds. However, it's a question of how close Fozzy 37 is to her. STSC Dan is...
MGI and Lemon Dead 69's got 10-second penalties from Singapore, but Lemon Dead 69 should be safe in 2nd place.
Yeah, because when the kids are getting a 20-second penalty, they get done in sequential order. His will be applied and then hers. So she's basically losing 10 seconds to Lemon Dead 69. So he's going to be safe in P2. The question is literally about Nikita.
Got a free class grapple 4th place now. Fozzy SSC down. That Tom 65.
In the summer, it should be, yeah, because his teammate lagged out. Yeah, Tom 625 rushing the wall at sector 3 there. So all of a sudden, he's suddenly got himself back in the mix. Now, could he be the assassin that dethrones Nikita from the podium? Because if he can get past these two guys on this fresh option pair, he might be able to pull away. Tom 65 DRS swap over, he's not waiting around for STFC Dan, but as they led him through at turn 1, that's going to cost him a crucial second or 2 there. STFC Dan goes wide, contact between the cars as they go around turn 2. Heading on towards turn 3, DRS will be active from Tom 625, flat wide open. Fozzy 37's broken this pair for now. Heading down towards turn 3, and the question is, can Tom 625 stop the car? Indeed he has, he almost went round the outside there of STFC Dan, who's gone backwards ever since that critical mistake on the previous lap. And Bernie's pulled around the outside of turn 3, they're heading down towards turn 4, pretty much side by side. XRL Bernie's got the lead at the moment, he's on the outside line, the dirtier line. Can he get the car round? Yes he can. Excellent driving there from the Red Bull driver.
Learned it from me from last night.
Well, honestly, why is South Korea never like this for real? Why does no one ever battle this hard in real life? This is excellent stuff.
I know, it's brilliant.
In the meantime, heading to turn 11 now. Tom 65 trying to get close to the back. And Fozzy 37 as Bernie makes a big mistake. Classes the inside curve and almost spins the car. Catches it, but has lost a lot of time there. Tom 625 is now all over the back on Fozzy 37. The question is, how far ahead is Nikita now?
Well, I'm looking, she's going to cross line now, but surely the gap's going to be increasing because Fozzy is scrapping.
You'd think so, but Tom 625 is behind him on fresher options and has got the DRS advantage. And he's gone into the pits. Fozzy's pitted with 2 laps to go.
Oh, gap is now 18 seconds, but Tom is on the option tyres. He'll be on the quicker tyre.
So I think Tom is going to dethrone her and take away the podium. And the question is, can XRL Bernie get close enough to take 4?
You never know. Bernie could get a podium. You need to get past Tom now and catch Nikita.
Not necessarily now. He's very close. If he can keep this gap, he might be able to sneak it on the final lap. That'd be impressive. Tom 625 leads through turn 4 into turn 5 as XRL Bernie tries vainly to get as close as possible to be able to get that performance there and be able to get that third place potentially, depending on Nikita's final lap, which I could not see being as far ahead. So, also Leon, I need you to do me a favour. Have you got a camera phone or anything nearby?
Yeah, I've got my iPad. I can take a photo.
Yeah, take a photo of the results page so we can get it confirmed. But in the meantime, XRL Bernie makes another mistake at turn 11, granting critical space to Tom 625, and that might be enough for XRL Bernie to have lost this chance here. Sean B's definitely going to take the checkered flag, there's no doubt about it. As XRL Bernie goes over the inside of turn 16 there, totally gets that wrong, and also goes off the track at turn 17 and 18. 3 corners in a row. He appears to have broken the track guides. And Tom 625 has definitely got this now. No DRS from Denny.
Gap's down to 17 seconds between Nikita and Tom.
So Nikita is going to be bumped off.
Probably going to drop down to 5th.
It's a question of where Bernie comes in relation to Tom 625. And then what we'll have to do is we'll have to decline inviting her to the podium. I'm not going to invite someone to the podium interview and say, by the way, you're not third. That would be really rather cruel. So it's XRL Bernie heading out towards turn 4 here, but he's miles away from Tom 625. He's easily lost that position. And at the same time, you've got to feel that Nikita has not done enough to be able to get the gap, to be able to keep third place, which is a shame because she's done a very quiet and very calm race. But that's not the point. You have to deliver on the track if you've got the penalties. Meanwhile, in P2, we've got Living Dead 69, who for me is one of the drivers of the day, having come off all the way at the back of the field to come second. And meanwhile, Sean B, he's already crossed the line and he's taken a beautiful victory.
I say Fearless, but unfortunately he liked it. I think Fearless could have won the race.
He could have. I agree. And well, here comes Nikita now, just about to cross the start-finish line. Final lap's not impressive on its time. It's a total of a 1:42. Very, very slow. Meanwhile, Tom 625 is just behind. This is easily going to be enough for him to take third place.
On the 39th, 3 seconds quicker in that lap.
Indeed.
What was the gap though?
Well, let's find out. Well, let's find out, Nikki. Yeah, we're going to wait for the other cars to finish in order to confirm it. XRL Rusty, Fozzy 37, MJI1, who's really lost hours with all this, all the way down in 9th place. Just about to cross the start-finish line now. You've got to feel sorry for him. And then Connorized, who's on an extremely quiet, very, very slow race at the back. But critically, he's going to get the point for finishing, and that's all that's going to matter to him. On a 1:45. So yes, the gap was 11 seconds. And Nikita was 15 seconds ahead of Bernie. Nikita is down to 5th place.
Right, let's get the podium guys in.
Aye, let's go, man.
Not sure Tom 625 will join. He'll be on the winner, he's third.
Oh, we'll certainly try it. And we've lost Nikita already. She's left connection. Well, Sean, you got pole position, and you left from the front. It all seemed a bit too easy there for you. How was it on track?
Oh, it was anything but easy. It was a very difficult track to drive, and I had XRL Fearless and this person in P.
Sean, you quit yourself on mid-sentence there, mate. Sean, can you hear us? Okay, well, Sean, for whatever reason, has stopped talking. While we wait to see if we can get him back, Lavender 69, let's go to you. You started very low down the field. It looked like you had a really poor qualifying, but you really seem to have made out beautifully in the race. How was it out there on the track for you?
Wow, what happened there?
So this is everyone left. Why you've got the chance? Answer my question, and I'll bring the other guys back in.
All right, yeah. No, I qualified. Everybody switched to the options. So it was
Right, so can you start that again? I've got a load of lag then.
Sorry about that.
It's okay, start again.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, Sean, you say the difficult race and it was hard to get on top of everybody. I'd say you had Fearless all over the back. Obviously, when he lost connection, it was making things a little easier for you.
It was, yeah. I mean, I knew I had to stop again, and I was just praying that I had the gap to come out ahead of Nikita and the Living Dead, and thankfully I did. But then I realised that I wasn't making a gap to second place, and I was starting to get a little bit scared, but thankfully I was able to not make any mistakes and keep the gap at a safe level to the end of.
Excellent, wonderful there. Well, let's go over to you then, Living Dead 69, because obviously you had to fight back from a very poor qualifying. How was it for you on track?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I mean, qualifying went. It was a big mistake not going out on options. I thought I'd risk it, but start was alright. Got caught up in battles, made a few mistakes which ended up costing me later on in the race, but just had to sit there and hope the two-stopper would work later on into the race, and managed to catch Nikita, and then just couldn't catch Sean. He was on fresher rubber at the end, and he just kept gapping me. So, it was a good race all in all. A few good overtakes, so no complaints from me.
Wonderful. Well, Tom 65, we've invited you to the party. Reason being that due to a penalty from the race at Monza, Nikita's actually been demoted down to 5th place. So you are actually on the podium. How do you feel about
that? I feel like I don't deserve it. I took out MJ at the start, and then, yeah, completely my fault. I just outbraked myself, and then, yeah. But yeah, I don't really feel like I deserve this.
Well, I mean, results are provisional, so they may change again, but based off what it is at the moment, provisionally you are 3rd place after that penalty was applied. Obviously, the race seemed quite intense, quite a lot of action wheel to wheel. Was it difficult to get the braking distances right with the conditions on the track?
Yeah, it was, because you'd be up against 2 people most of the time, and then they'd just be dying everywhere, and yeah, it's quite difficult to find where you need to start braking.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's a good race.
Excellent. Well, thank you all very much for your comments. So, all you people who've watched on the stream, thank you all for staying with us tonight. Brought to you again by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Now, tomorrow night is the GP3 race. No guarantee that is going to be live, unfortunately. But on the Wednesday, you do have the F4, F5000 races. I believe this week it's F4 due to how tight that league is at the moment with regards to 2nd all the way down to 9th or something like that. So keep your eyes peeled on that. And then on the Thursday, we've got the 80s and 90s races, season finale at Melbourne, and then the 90s also at Monza, before we are back from Sunday, same time, same place as simulcast of channels 1 and 2. Myself and Dan Fisk will be bringing you coverage of the F1 division from Suzuka, Japan. Well, until then, thank you all very much for watching, and good night.